And ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our evening performance. What a day we have had showcasing the Percherons here in the arena. We have seen such a variety of classes. We are in for a treat tonight. We're going to kick it off with the 8-horse hitches. But before we do that, we are asking that you would please stand. We are going to be presenting first our flag of Canada, our neighbors to the north, our visitors, our exhibitors. We truly appreciate them making the trip to St. Paul to celebrate our World Percheron Congress. At this time, we are welcoming Miss Maddie Strain into the arena, her and her family joining us from Manitoba, Canada, presenting the maple leaf flag to our friends from the north. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Anthem of Canada by Dr. Bradley Barrett.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
As the gates open, we thank Maddie Strain once again for presenting the red, white, and blue. I'm sorry, the maple leaf. We are now ready for the red, white, and blue. And ladies and gentlemen, this year is a big year. The year 2026, it has been 40 years since we've gathered here in St. Paul to celebrate the Percheron horse. Our country is celebrating 250 years, and our Percheron Association is celebrating 150 years. So we take a lot of pride in the red, white, and blue. As they make their way in, this duo has been a great addition to our show. Sarah Campbell and the beautiful Gray Percheron presenting the red, white, and blue. And ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rained clear, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Sarah always doing a great job kicking us off in style. The symbol of America, the red, white, and blue. Well, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a horse show tonight? More important, are you ready for the 8-horse hitches? Well, just a couple things to remind you. If you're sitting near the rail, we want you to always keep your arms and your hands on the outside. We don't want to disturb any of these hitches. This is a very important class. We're going to have 4 heats, and also tonight we are going to be awarding that fan of the night. If you are caught cheering loud and proud through all these classes, you are eligible to be coming up. We are going to welcome our officials. We can't have a horse show without our officials. Mr. Randy Reamer is going to be presenting our officials into the arena. What a day he has had. Mr. Mark Berry has seen a ton of horsepower coming through the gates of this arena, and he has done a great job. Mark joins us from East Bethany, New York. He and his family very active in the draft horse industry. They campaign a 6-horse hitch all across the country, promoting horses and their dairy farms. He is going to come in center arena. The man in the middle helping to make all the calls, our ring steward, Mr. Merv Hirschberger, joining us from Indiana. I promise you, these two gentlemen have put thousands of miles on their feet today, and tonight they are going to see our first class, which will be the 8-horse hitches, breaking it down into 4 sections and then having all entries back in. 16 entries in our 8-horse hitch, 16 entries. You will see that lead horse is so far away from the driver that you must have a very confident horse and a confident lead team to lead these hitches. We're going to work 4 at a time, and they are ready. Our ground crew has them ready to come in. Again, if you're on the rail, I see somebody drop their glasses over here. We need to get those glasses out of the rail. If you're on the rail, make sure to keep your arms and your hands back. We don't want to distract any of the horses. Well, once again, are you ready for the 8-horse hitches? Are you all ready to cheer for the fan of the night? Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to welcome our 8-horse hitches into the arena. This class sponsored in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. The anticipation grows as they start to make their way in. This class, again, dedicated in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome the 8-horse hitches. Mr. Chip Lawrence on the line for the Hunting Creek entry. They make the trip from North Carolina. You see what a handful of lines our drivers have, giving them control over each of these hitches. Each team in the hitch has a role to play, and you will see our drivers guiding these individual teams into the turns and the corner at different times, all with those lines he has thread back through his fingers. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, our second division. We are welcoming CCP Percherons, making the trip from Longmont, Colorado. The Pittman Percherons making their way in next, your hometown team from Claremont, Minnesota. One more to grace the arena to make this first division full. From Illinois, we are going to be welcoming the Gray Thunder Percherons. Josh Wilcox on the lines. This is your division. The gates closed. Again, if you're on the rail, arms and hands back. Drivers on the rail at the trot. all moving at the trot. Mr. Chip Lawrence going to lead our hitches across at the diagonal. Hunting Creek making that diagonal cut. Two hitches till making the reverse. Our drivers do not break stride as they make that diagonal cut across the arena. A lot of vocal commands with those horses that are so far away from our driver. Get you all moving so we can safely get everybody moving. We're going to get everybody spaced out, moving, and then we'll change our gates. But let's get everybody spaced out on the rail. And now we're going to come down to the walk, please. Now we're going to come down to the walk. What a group of drivers we have in this section. Drivers at the trot, once again, drivers at the trot, please. And we will be lining up this lap with the Hunting Creek entry. Chip will be starting our lineup. What a powerful class, ladies and gentlemen. The first division of our 8-horse hitches. Make them feel welcome. Even with these multiple hitches, our judge is going to go through the same routine, reviewing each individual hitch and going back to the days of horsepower, when these multiple hitches were the horsepower to move the loads around the city and to make the deliveries They were also the hitches that were plowing and working in the field. These multiple hitches, they all had to have a reverse gear to back that wagon up to the docks to load or unload all of the cargo in the city streets. Well, that is a tradition we carry forward in our show arena. We ask our drivers to back these hitches, always looking for consistency. In this class, looking for 8 horses that work together to back that wagon and then pull back in the lineup. Our first entry for our judge is the entry of Hunting Creek Farms, making the trip from North Carolina. Mr. Chip Lawrence piloting our 8-horse hitch. Next in our lineup is the entry of CCP, those Percherons joining us from Colorado. Mr. Wilbur Helmuth on the lines. This is their first World Percheron Congress, and we're excited to have them with us again, making the trip from Colorado. Our next entry for our judges' review is our 8-horse hitch that is proud to be in their home state of Minnesota. It is the Pittman Percherons from Claremont. Mark doing the driving. Our final entry representing the Gray Percherons, that is the Gray Thunder Percherons, making the trip from Illinois. Mr. Josh Wilcox doing the driving. What a fabulous job by all of our contenders in this first division. Again, this is our first of 4 heats. If you have your cameras, this is a Kodak moment as we celebrate the Percherons and our World Percheron Congress right here in the Warner Coliseum. It will be full line to line, end to end with our 8-horse hitches. We're going to open the gates and we're going to start with Gray Thunder, and Josh is going to be leaving the arena first. We're going to send these hitches out. Gray Thunder making their way out. The Pittman Percherons making their way out next. You're awful quiet for a Minnesota 8-horse hitch. CCP Percherons joining us from Longmont, Colorado with Wilbur Helmuth. And Mr. Chip Lawrence piloting the entry for the Hunting Creek Farms. This class again is dedicated in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. The Ames love and respect for the Percheron was perpetuated through George's son Chester, who carried on his family's passion for farming and this marvelous horse. When Chester was 17, his father moved the family to Minnesota. 4 years later, Chester met and married Ruby Bell Reisinger and started his own farm in Farmington, Minnesota. Chester and Ruby Ames raised 8 children on that farm, and as tradition would stand, passed their farming heritage on to their children. The Ames brothers went on to work together, forming Ames Construction in 1962. The oldest son, Dick, a lifelong horseman, developed a profound respect for the horses that dates back to an era when the draft horses were essential to the operation of the big farms in the Midwest. The youngest son, Ronnie, also had a passion for Arabian horses and was always a great cheerleader of the Ames Percherons. Ladies and gentlemen, heat number 2 making their way in. The entry of Jackson Fork Ranch with Mr. Ross Hansberger. We are saluting your hometown team from Burnsville, Minnesota, Ames Construction, and from Jordan, Minnesota, the Ames Percherons. Mr. Travis Shaw doing the driving. Two more in this second section. From Canada, we are welcoming Wilson Farms. That is Mr. Bud Miller on the lines. All right, we are waiting for one more entry. If you have a bird's eye view of these drivers, take a look at their hands as they pass by you and see how they have those lines threaded through their fingers. Ladies and gentlemen, our final contender in this division, Strawberry Lane Percherons, joining us from Didsbury, Alberta, Canada. This is your heat on the rail at the trot. All moving at the trot. We are in our second heat of our 8-horse hitches. Jackson Fork will be starting our reverse at the gate side. When we get down to it, we're going to have Ross starting that diagonal cut. And we're at the walk now. At the walk, drivers, all walk, please. Moving at the trot again. All space out on the rail at the trot, please. All trot. Jackson Fork Ranch will start our lineup. When you get down to Merv, we will be lining up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for the second heat, the beautiful turnout of our 8-horse hitches. Our first entry to work for the judge is the entry of Jackson Fork Ranch, joining us from Little Jackson Hole, Wyoming. We have Ross and Nicole Hansberger, the managers and the driver today. Our second entry for our judge to review will be the entry of the Ames Percherons, the equine ambassadors for Ames Construction. Just down the road in Jordan, Minnesota, Mr. Travis Shaw will be the driver of our next hitch. Wilson Farms. Joining us from Ontario, Canada, owned by the Wilson family, Mr. Bud Miller. The driver for Wilson Farms will be next for our inspection. Following this heat, we still have 7 entries in our 8-horse hitch. This, as I said, will be a full arena of 8-horse hitches. Remember, we're still looking for those that are cheering for that fan of the night, and also any young girls that would like to be a future Percheron queen. We're watching to see if those young girls are cheering loud and proud to be a future Percheron queen. And we are now reviewing the entry of Strawberry Lane Percherons, owned by Greg Lurvy and family. Mr. Brian Coleman doing the driving. They are joining us from Didsbury, Alberta. We have our 2 states in this division, Wyoming and Minnesota represented, and 2 provinces, Ontario and Alberta. All right, our judge, Mr. Mark Berry, making some notes on his card. What a card he will be turning in when we place our 8-horse hitch class. All right, we are going to be opening the gates. We are going to send these drivers out to the right, starting with the very talented Mr. Brian Coleman for the Strawberry Lane Percherons. Representing the Lurvy family. Mr. Bud Miller making his way out for the Wilson Farms, joining us from Ontario. From Jordan, Minnesota, the Ames Percherons. They're from Minnesota. You can do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to welcome Ross Hansberger doing the driving for the Jackson Fork Ranch, representing Wyoming. Again, this class is dedicated in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. We are so thankful that their love of the equine industry brought together the Percherons, and the love that they shared in promoting the Percherons. This class dedicated in their memory. The Ames family honored to be the sponsors of our 2026 World Percheron Congress 8-horse hitch in loving memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. All right, we have 3 entries that will be coming in this final division. 3 entries in this final division. Right, I hear some hand clapping. We got it going on now. Heat number 3 entering the arena. This is the entry of Yoder Gravel, Yoder Sand and Gravel. Joining us from Montana, Mr. Freeman Yoder doing the driving. Clark Family Orchards from Colorado making their way in. Scott doing the driving. We are up to 4 division. We are going to have 4 in this division as well. 4 entries. From Indiana, we are welcoming Dutch Country Organics. Mark Hostetler doing the driving. We're going to welcome in another Minnesota hitch, ladies and gentlemen. This is the entry of the Schreiber brothers, Schreiber Percherons. Plainview, Minnesota. On the rail at the trot. 4 entries on the rail at the trot. The Yoder Gravel entry. Yoder Sand and Gravel will start our reverse with Mr. Freeman Yoder doing the driving. We're going to bring you down to the walk, drivers. We are going to bring you down to the walk. Again, if you have a chance to be up close and personal, you can see these drivers. Look at their hands. Look at the control they have over each horse with those lines that are fed back through their fingers, giving them individual control over each horse. We're going to put you back at the trot, drivers. Back at the trot, please. Yoder Sand and Gravel will start our lineup when you get down to your ring steward. Freeman will be starting our lineup. Our drivers making their way into the lineup. It was fancy and it was fast-paced. Ladies and gentlemen, your third division to our 8-horse hitches. Make them feel welcome. I tell you, a lot of us aren't scared of much, but these 8 horses in here, that just makes the goosebumps on your arm. I tell you what, that brings all senses to life. You see the beautiful hitches. You feel the thunder of the hoofs pounding into the ground. You smell that horsepower, and you smell the harness and the leather, and you hear that harness. This is a class that is second to none, and we're so honored to have such talented drivers and exhibitors here in the arena. Yoder Sand and Gravel making the trip from Montana to be a part of our World Percheron Congress. Jake and his family campaigning these Percherons all across the country. That is his brother, Mr. Freeman Yoder, doing the driving. Next, we are going to be welcoming the entry of the Clark Family Orchard. They make the trip from Colorado to be a part of our show. Dennis and Stacy Clark and their crew do a great job. Scott doing the driving of our 8-horse hitch. Remember, we're still looking for candidates for that fan of the night. I don't see too many people making a lot of noise yet. Our judge now making his way past the entry of Dutch Country Organics. Joining us from Middlebury, Indiana, Mr. Mark Hostetler doing the driving. And we're going to turn our attention to that hitch making their home state proud right here from Minnesota. It is the Schreiber Percherons, the Schreiber brothers. Mr. Brad Schreiber doing the driving. This is our third division. We have one more. That last group will have 3 entries in it. Great job by all of our exhibitors in this division. These 4 entries doing a great job. our judge, Mr. Mark Berry, making some notes on his card. We talk about the trust between our drivers and these horses. We know with this much horsepower, these horses could leave town anytime they wanted, but they have, again, that trust with their driver. We're going to open the gates, and starting with Schreiber's, we're going to send them out to their right. We'll be sending them out to their right. Mr. Brad Schreiber making that sharp turn and maneuvering these horses out the gate. We thank our crew working out there getting these horses safely in and out of the arena. It is quite a traffic congestion going on out there. Mark Hostetler doing the driving for the Dutch Country Organics, making the trip from Indiana. The Clark Family Orchard making their way out next. Joining us from Colorado, Scott and Dennis on the seat. And from Stevensville, Montana, we're welcoming the Yoder Sand and Gravel entry with Mr. Freeman Yoder exhibiting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more section that will be gracing the arena. One more group. This group is going to have 3 entries in it. 3 entries. Are you enjoying the show so far, ladies and gentlemen? What a day it has been. We are crowning our champions in the gelding and the stallions. We've had carts, teams, and now our 8-horse hitch. Representing the province of British Columbia, we are welcoming the ZD Pickering Farms entry. Mr. Tim Sparrow doing the driving. We're welcoming Mr. Jason Hansberger in the Red Oak Farms entry, representing Quebec, Canada. And we're going to welcome the Percherons. One more entry for this 4th division. This group, again, will have 3 entries. From Plainview, Minnesota, we are welcoming the Barch Percherons with Matt Steffens. On the rail at the trot, please. All moving at the trot. And we are going to be reversing with Tim and the Pickering entry. As you make your way around, we will be reversing. And we're going to come down to the walk, please. Down to the walk. And trot on, please. Drivers back at the trot. And Tim will start our lineup down at the end. When you get down to Merv, we will be lining up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our fourth and final division to our 8-horse hitches into the arena. Again, our judge, Mr. Mark Berry, joining us from East Bethany, New York, reviewing each entry. He has watched these drivers as they promote these horses on the rail, studying the action, the movement, how well they work together. That is key in judging these multiple hitches. All teams must work together. He is making his way now past the entry of ZD Pickering. They represent the province of British Columbia. That is Mr. Tim Sparrow doing the driving. The center arena is the entry of Red Oak Farms, representing Quebec, Canada, with Mr. Jason Hansberger driving. Our final entry to move for our judge is the entry of the Percherons. Ryan Barshin family joining us from Plainview, Minnesota, with Matt Steffen doing the driving. All drivers putting these horses through their paces, backing in the lineup, standing quietly for our judges' review. Our judge, Mr. Mark Berry, again making some notes on his card. We'll be placing this class in its entirety. All right, we are going to open the gates and we are going to start dismissing these entries out to your right, starting with Matt Steffen and the Percherons. Red Oak Farms making their way out next with Mr. Jason Hansberger. Again, a little traffic congestion going on in the back. We're sorting out all of our 8 horse hitches. Thankfully, Mother Nature is giving us some good weather where we can get everybody moving outside, get them turned around, ready to come back in for our final judging. Our judge is going to see 4 entries coming back in for the drive-off. Again, we're going to see 4 entries coming in. How many of you are enjoying your first World Percheron Congress? How many of you have been to 2 or more over the years? All right. How many of you have been to 5 or more? Well, it is quite a treat to come here in St. Paul, Minnesota, where we were 40 years ago to celebrate the Perch Run. Ladies and gentlemen, your drive-off now coming in. We're welcoming Mr. Wilbur Helmuth with the CCP Percherons making the trip from Colorado. This is where we get to help the judge cheer on. We'll help our judge with our opinion. Also making our drive off, we are going to welcome from Ontario, Canada, the Wilson Farms with Mr. Bud Miller. Are you ready to cheer on our next drive-off contender? It is Jackson Fork Ranch from Little Jackson Hole, Wyoming. One more, and we're going to continue to go west, all the way from Montana. Let's welcome the Yoder Sand and Gravel with Mr. Freeman Yoder. On the rail at the trot, this is your drive-off. On the rail at the trot. Starting with CCP and Wilbur, we will be reversing. Ladies and gentlemen, every one of these hitches is in it to win it today. What a drive-off we're having, and we're going to be reversing now with the CCP entry. This is their final lap. We're going to line up with the CCP entry, lining up with Wilbur. Drivers coming in very close and tight, if you would. We're going to bring all entries in. We need you coming in close and tight, please. Coming in as close as possible with our eights. Ladies and gentlemen, what a powerful drive off. The horsepower second to none. Let's make them feel welcome. As I said, every one of them was in it to win it. Every one of these hitches in it to win it. And the judge now has his work ahead of him. As he's marking the card, we are going to be opening the gates and we're going to start sending in those hitches that we're going to honor. All entries in this class going to be honored for our 8-horse hitches. We do have show programs. They are free. If you'd like one, they're up here at the announcer's booth. We have a lot of show programs. Get your program and stay ahead of what we're doing in the program. You can watch all of our sponsors in there. You can see our classes. Our advertisers, we have a lot of them up here. You just come and get one. They are free to take home a souvenir. Following our 8-horse hitch, we are going to work the arena. We're also going to bring in our raffle golf cart. We're having our junior team of horses, which will be horses that are 2 or 3 years of age. And then we will have our mare 4-horse hitch. So we have quite a show left for you this evening. Again, the junior team and the mare 4 following our 8-horse hitch. Our hitches making their way in to get in the lineup. You watch that, Mr. Brad Schreiber. He's going to thread the needle down there. He is going to put these horses in a tight spot. He's going to fill the gap. Nobody better than Mr. Brad Schreiber. Mr. Mark Pittman making his way around. We're going to try to get you in straight and tight if we can. Straight and tight as you come around for the lineup. Mr. Josh Wilcox making his way in with the Gray Thunder Percherons. Drivers, again, we need you straight and tight, please. Into the lineup straight and tight. Mr. Chip Lawrence for the Hunting Creek Farms. Mr. Brian Coleman for the Strawberry Lane Percherons. We're welcome back. Dutch Country Organics making their way in. The Clark Family Orchard making their way in. Scott and Dennis on the seat. Again, drivers coming in tight against those hitches, please. I think it's time you get your cameras out, ladies and gentlemen. What a sight in the Lee and Rose Warner Coliseum as we are going to bring all entries back in for our 8-horse hitch. Mr. Matt Steffen on the lines for the Barch Percherons. Red Oak Farms with Mr. Jason Hansberger making their way in. I promise we are going to be wall to wall, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be wall to wall. The entry of the Pickering family, ZD Pickering Farms, making their way in with Mr. Tim Sparrow. All right, we're going to come on down. We're going to bring you on down, Matt, down here to the lineup. It's going to be tight, but we're going to try our best to get all of these hitches in the lineup, and it will be your time to pull your cameras out. This is a moment that will go down in history as we welcome all of our 8-horse hitches into the arena. Tim making his way all the way down. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we welcome 15 8-horse hitches into the arena. Let's stand and salute these exhibitors, these drivers, these crews. What a job, what a beautiful turnout as we honor the memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. All right, could we see Mark up at the desk, please? Could we see Mark up here at the desk? All right, we had one hitch that did not come back in. We are going to place your top 14 entries in this class. Drivers who go out to your left to make your way around, we will accommodate you at the gate. We will get Tim to pull forward. In 14th position today, it is going to be entry number 1485. That is the Gray Thunder Percherons, joining us from Mokina, Illinois, with Joshua Wilcox. Congratulations, the Gray Thunder Percherons. Our ribbons will be starting at 10th place. Just so you know, our ribbons starting at 10th. In 13th position, it is 2429. That is the World Percherons from Plainview, Minnesota, with Matt Steffen doing the driving. In 12th position today, number 1377, that is the entry of the Pittman Percherons. Joining us from Claremont, Minnesota, Mark Pittman on the lines. In 11th position today, number 1871, that is the Clark Family Orchard. Joining us from Colorado, Scott Banga doing the driving, Dennis on the seat with him, decked out in the purple, the 11th place to Clark Family Orchards. In 10th place today, number 2849, that is Dutch Country Organics, making the trip from Middlebury, Indiana, with Mark Hostetler. Our ribbons will start with the Dutch Country Organics entry. We are welcoming our queens, Mackenzie and Jada Lynn, making their way for the presentation of this class. In 9th place today, it is entry number 1828. That is the entry of Hunting Creek Farms. Joining us from Hamptonville, North Carolina, with Mr. Chip Lawrence. In 8th place today, number 1375, that is the entry of Red Oak Farms. Mr. Jason Hansberger on the lines. Seventh place going to stay right here in Minnesota. Plainview, Minnesota, with the Schreiber Percherons, Mr. Brad Schreiber. Our 6th place award today is going to go to entry number 2698. That is the entry of Strawberry Lane Percherons, the equine ambassadors for the scleroderma awareness. Congratulations to Mr. Brian Coleman, his daughter Taylor on the seat, doing the driving for Greg Lurvy and family. Again, Strawberry Lane Percherons, the equine ambassadors for scleroderma awareness. In 5th place, entry number 1506, that is the entry of Z.D. Pickering Family Farm. From Prince George, British Columbia, Mr. Tim Sparrow doing the driving. In 4th place today, entry number 2693. That is one of our youngest drivers in the arena, Mr. Wilbur Helmuth, doing the driving for the CCP Percherons, making the trip from Longmont, Colorado. Congratulations. You're going to watch this driver turn that 8-horse hitch on a dime down there on the far end. He's taking advantage of that fifth wheel wagon as he turns sharp, pulling that box right around with him. Great job, Mr. Wilbur Hellmuth. In third place today, the honors going to number 2404, going back to Stevensville, Montana, with the Yoder Sand and Gravel. Congratulations to Jake Yoder and family, with Brother Freeman piloting this hitch. Our reserve and our champion in the arena at this time, ladies and gentlemen. What a class it was. We would be so proud to award either one of these the championship. But today, your reserve champion is entry number 1252, Wilson Farms, joining us from Ontario, Canada. Mr. Bud Miller doing the driving. Bud is no stranger to the lines of an 8-horse hitch. He is the current Clydesdale 8-horse hitch world champion. And today he takes home the reserve honors at the World Percheron Congress. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our sponsors who dedicate this 8-horse hitch in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames, the award, your world championship, going to number 1771, Jackson Fork Ranch from Little Jackson Hole, Wyoming, with Mr. Ross Hansberger, his wife Nicole, and a great crew that makes this happen. We are having our queens, Miss Mackenzie and Jada Lynn, making the presentation. We do have a sash for that lead horse to proudly wear. Look at that. Our photographer, Mr. Brian Yoder, running over to help get that sash pinned. What a feat, what a class. We had a total of 15 entries in this class, and this is your world champion, our queens, with the award. Nicole at the front, Ross on the lines, and Brian capturing this moment in history as we crown Jackson Fork Ranch your world champion 8-horse hitch in memory of Dick and Ronnie Ames. All right, our queens, they are going to step up on that wagon. They're going to take a victory pass that they will not forget. Jada Lynn finding her way on the seat. Miss Mackenzie making her way up. These girls have done a great job throughout our performances, handing out the awards. This is their time to shine, along with your world champion 8-horse hitch, ladies and gentlemen, Jackson Fork Ranch, with Mr. Ross Hansberger. You're awful quiet, Minnesota. Make some noise for your world champion. They are making the turn, making their way down. This is the Blue Ribbon Pass, the World Champion Pass for Jackson Fork Ranch. Congratulations to Mr. Ross Hansberger. Well, we have a little business to attend to. We are going to bring the tractor in. We're going to work down the arena. We're going to bring our cart in for you to see. And then we're going to move right into our next class. We have a full lineup. Again, don't forget, don't everyone leave. After this will be our junior team of horses and then our mare 4-horse hitch. So we have quite a lot ahead of us this evening. More world champions to crown. We do want to take a few moments to thank the great staff here at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. They are here to keep our arena in tip-top shape. They have been a great blessing to work with. So thank you to Bob and our crew here at the Minnesota State Fair. We are on our final lap. Then we're going to present to you our cart that will be given away on Saturday night. We are going to have our junior teams following that. Our junior teams, those will be horses that are 2 or 3 years of age. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we are going to be presenting our golf cart raffle. You are going to see this golf cart that is decked out in the 2026 World Percheron Congress logo. We are going to draw Saturday night, and you do not have to be present to win. We're going to have them tool around the arena and give you a first-hand look, because this is a nice golf cart. The Percheron Heritage Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving and promoting the Percheron breed through its education. All funds raised help provide scholarships for the youth and support educational clinics for both youth and adults. Everyone loving to expand their knowledge and involvement with the Percheron community. Every ticket purchase helps invest in the future of the breed while giving you a chance to take home an amazing prize. We have tickets up here for sale. They are $25 each or $5 for $100. Thank you for supporting the next generation of Percheron enthusiasts and helping to preserve the legacy of this incredible breed. Brenda up here by me has those tickets for sale. You can't say no to Brenda. She's going to try to talk you into buying all those tickets. $25 each or 5 tickets for $100. We'll take cash, card, or put them on your account. We just need you to make sure to get your ticket. We are welcoming Mr. Brian Yoder in, our official photographer from Summit Professional Services. Our first class of the break will now be our junior team of horses. These will be the 2 or 3-year-old horses. Saluting 2 entries in this class, 2 entries. Mr. Mark Berry making his way in, along with our ring steward, Mr. Merv Hirschberger. Two entries in this class as we salute our young horses. This class sponsored by Renovo. We'll be welcoming Ginger in for the award ceremony. Renova is a proud supporter of the World Percheron Congress, and our entries are making their way in. 2 entries making their way in. We have just 2 entries as we salute our young horses, but 2 very qualified entries. If you would, ladies and gentlemen, this is our class 2 entries on the rail at the trot, please. Kenseth will be reversing. Kenseth starting our reverse. And we're going to come down to the walk. And back into the trot, please. All trot on. We are going to be lining up. When you come around, Kenseth will start lining up. Let's welcome into the arena our 2 entries in our junior team class. It might be small, but what a nice class with these 2 entries. Even with the young horses, our judge going through the protocol of asking our drivers to back each entry. This class is sponsored by Renovo. They are helping veterinarians care for horses with advanced regenerative technology designed to support the body's natural healing process. From performance horses to hardworking draft horses, Renovo is being used to help support joint, tendons, ligaments, and soft tissue health. One of the things veterinarians appreciate most about Renovo is consistency. Unlike some treatments that must be collected from the individual horse and can vary from patient to patient, Renova is ready when needed and provides a more dependable product every time. Renova is carefully cryopreserved, kept frozen until use to help protect important natural proteins and biologic properties. Veterinarians across the country are rapidly adapting to Renovo and adopting it into their practices as an innovative option in equine regenerative medicine, helping horses get back to doing what they do best. They do have a display in our concourse area. You can stop by and visit Ginger. She is more than happy to talk about Renova, and they are our class sponsors. We are welcoming Ginger into the arena with our queens to make the presentations in this class. In second place today is entry number 4040. That is the entry of LD Percherons. Joining us from Bradgate, Iowa, Cody Woodbury doing the driving for Jim and Peggy Day. Driving our young team, LD's Cam Evie and LD's Bruce Fergie. And your winning entry in our junior team, congratulations, going to entry number 1310A. That is the entry of the Zubrod Percherons. Miss Kinza Zubrod looking sharp out there as she comes around for her world title. This is Zubrod's Not Your Barbie Girl and Zubrod's Maddie joining us from Guthrie, Oklahoma. We're going to have our class sponsor, Ginger, find her way up on that seat, taking a victory pass with your class winner. I know that the Zubrod family are very good advocates of Renovo. And Ginger, we thank you for being a part of our World Percheron Congress. Miss Kinza Zubrod taking our class sponsor for a victory pass, your world champion junior team, ladies and gentlemen, brought to us by the Zubrod Percherons of Guthrie, Oklahoma. She's making her way down to the winner's pathway. Congratulations, Kinza Zubrod, our winning entry in our junior team. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be welcoming our royalty into the arena. We have a special presentation. I'm going to turn the mic over to Jody Morton, representing the Missouri Draft Horse and Mule Association, and we have a special award for our queens.
Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying our Congress. My name is Jody Morton and I'm a member of the Missouri Mule and Draft Horse Association. A few years ago we lost a very, very loved and dear friend, Miss Elsie Myers. And Elsie loved Percheron draft horses and coming to the Congress and being a part of all of this. And with her passing, as an association, we decided to make sure that a part of Miss Elsie will always be present at the Congress. We started a fund and raised money to do a little sponsorship contribution to our royalty girls in honor of Miss Elsie. Presenting that award for the Missouri Draft Horse and Mule Association is Mr. Neil DeVasier and Elsie's beloved husband, Billy Myers. They'll present each of our royalty with $500 from the Missouri Draft Horse and Mule Association. Congratulations, girls.
We're going to make sure Brian captures a picture. The Missouri Draft Horse and Mule Association raising funds in memory of Billy's wife to give each of our queens a $500 cash bonus. So we appreciate it. These girls work hard throughout our Congress. They have a lot of expenses. They are just not beauty queens. They are horse girls through and through. And so to have that extra bonus money, I know they appreciate it so much. And what a great, great cause. Thank you so much. Going out to the Missouri Draft Horse and Mule Association. Well, this is our last class that will be coming to the arena. We're still looking for that fan of the night. Who's still here to make some noise? All right, our judge coming in with our ring steward, Mr. Merv. We're going to see our 4-horse hitches for the mares. Our entries making their way in our 4-horse hitches. Our gates are going closed. This is your first division on the rail at the trot, please. All trot. We will be reversing with the pinwood entry. Chad will be making our diagonal cut. And we're going to come down to the walk, please. Down to the walk. And trot on, drivers, back into the trot with our first section to the mare, 4 horse hitches. We are going to be lining up with Chad. As you make your way around, we will be lining up. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome our first division of our 4 horse hitches into the arena. In this class, we have 18 scheduled entries to come, 18 entries. Mr. Chad Cole on our first wagon under the judge's eye. Penwood Percherons joining us from Center Hall, Pennsylvania. Our next entry for the judge is the entry of Red Oak Farms, Mr. Wishy Bush, representing Quebec, Canada. Next in the lineup is the entry of the Fedora Farm Percherons, joining us from Cassopolis, Michigan. Jana doing the driving. And we're going to welcome Hanson Percherons from Chatfield, Minnesota with Jared Hanson. We are opening the gates, and we are going to be dismissing this group. We're going to be sending this group out. Started with Mr. Jared Hansen. Jaina doing the driving for Fedor Farms, making their way out next. Wishy Bush, the owner and the driver, making their way out with Red Oak. And Mr. Chad Cole with the Penwood Percherons. We're anticipating 3 heats to this class, 3 heats. Heat number 1 making their way out. This class is sponsored by the Mid-America Draft Horse Sale, one of the premier draft horse auctions in North America, held annually in February in Gordyville, Gifford, Illinois. The 31st annual sale recently concluded, featuring an elite selection of Percheron geldings, mares, and stallions. If you are looking for the next show prospect, the Mid-America Draft Horse Sale is the place to be. If you are looking to sell horses, get with Vernon or Virgil. It is the place to be. Heat number 2, ready to come. Ethan doing the driving for the Silver Oak Percherons. Our gates are closed on the rail at the trot. We will be reversing with Silver Oak. And we're going to come down to the walk, please. Down to the walk. And trot on, please. Back into the trot. Starting with Silver Oak Percherons, we are going to be lining up. Ethan will start our lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our second division into the arena for our Mare 4-horse hitch. This class, again, very generously sponsored by Mid-America Draft Horse Sale, Vernon and Virgil. We appreciate their support. Our first entry for our judges review, number 2263, that is the Silver Oak Percherons. They make the trip all the way from Verdon, Manitoba, Canada to be a part of our show. Mr. Ethan Strain. Our judge now reviewing the entry. Joining us from West Cliff, Colorado, that is the Yoder Hay and Horses entry with Enos exhibiting. Our judge now turning his attention to entry 2611, Ground Pounders Percherons from Granite Falls, Minnesota, owned by the Fagan family, with Joe Dolan doing the driving. And our final entry in this division is entry 4002. That is the entry of Pine Hollow Dairy. They make the trip all the way from New York to be a part of our show. Mr. Dale Mattoon driving. We're going to open the gates. We're going to start with the Pine Hollow Dairy entry, sending you out to your right, exhibitors, out to your right, please. We have one more section that it will be making their way in as we will crown your world champion registered mare for horse hitch. Again, this class sponsored by Mid-America Draft Horse Sale, Vernon and Virgil Yoder. Windermere Farms making their way in from Pennsylvania with Hammer driving. The Strain family entry making their way in with Dylan. Arcola Ranch making their way in next with Leon Yoder. Silver Creek Farms making their way in. On the rail at the trot, please. On the rail at the trot. And we will be reversing. When Hammer gets to the corner, we are going to be reversing. We're going to come down to the walk, please. Down to the walk. And trot on, please. Back to the trot. We'll be lining up with the Windermere Farms entry as you come around. Heat number 3 making their way in. Ladies and gentlemen, make them feel welcome and with a nice round of applause. Our judge, Mr. Mark Berry, making his way all the way down to that end. He's going to review each of these entries. Again, when judging these multiple hitches, he is looking for consistency, looking for horses that work together, look for horses that perform as teams and as a unit. He'll look at the horses, the harness, the wagon, and then each exhibitor will back, all of it taken into consideration. First to move is the entry of Windermere Farms with Hammer driving. Next will be the entry 4004. That is the Spud Strain family entry. They make the trip from Boissevain, Manitoba to be here as our world show. Dylan doing the driving. Next, we have the entry of Arcola Ranch, number 2808. Joining us all the way from Arizona, Mr. Leon Yoder doing the driving. And our final entry in this class, entry number 3012, that is the Silver Creek Farm entry, joining us from Belle Plaine, Minnesota. Matt doing the driving. We are going to be opening the gates and sending out these hitches, starting with Silver Creek Farms. We do have one more heat. We'll have 3 entries in that. One more heat. We did have some scratches, so one more heat. One more group. It will have 3 entries in this group. Three entries making their way in. Blackbrook Percherons making their way in. Mr. Cody Woodbury on the lines for the Blue Ribbon Days. Mithkins is Zubrod making her way in for the Zubrod Percherons. We will be reversing with the Blackbrook entry as they come around, starting with Blackbrook. We're going to come down to the walk, please. And trot on, please. Moving back at the trot. We are going to be lining up with Blackbrook as you make your way around, lining up with Blackbrook. And ladies and gentlemen, again, our final division of the fours are now in the arena. Our judge reviewing these entries. First is the entry of Blackbrook Percherons. Joining us from Clear Lake, Wisconsin, David Larson exhibiting. In the center of our arena is the entry of Blue Ribbon Days, entry 1260, with Cody Woodbury exhibiting. Miss Kins is doing the driving for our final entry to move, the Zubrod Percherons. Our judge making some notes on his card. This was again a tremendous group with 4 divisions to our mare 4-horse hitch. We do have a special presentations that we'll be doing in this class while we're making our final results. We do want to remind you that we're going to start again bright and early in the morning. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. we will start our morning show here in the Warner Coliseum with your registered mare classes. Registered mares, starting with our youngsters. We will have our age classes, our group halter classes. Two o'clock will be our afternoon classes here in the Warner Coliseum, including the ladies' gelding cart and the open pleasure cart or carriage. And tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, we will have, following our opening ceremonies, the open 6-horse hitch. We'll present to you the foal and yearling futurity champions, and then we'll end with the ladies' mare cart class. So a full day once again tomorrow. All right, we are going to be excusing entries at this time. We're going to excuse the entry of Blackbrook Percherons. We are going to be keeping Blue Ribbon Days and Zubrod Percherons here in the arena for our drive off. One final time today to cheer on your favorite as they make their way around. Again, we are going to have a drive off. Our drive off will have 4 contestants in it. We are going to be leaving again Blue Ribbon Days. We are going to be leaving the Zubrod Percherons. Our crew in the back pulling out 2 more hitches to make our drive off. We all know how to spell this. I want to see everybody moving. Robin, Craig, I don't see your arms moving over there. We're going to welcome in the drive off from Pennsylvania, the entry of Penwood Percherons with Chad Cole. And we're going to go all the way across the country in the other direction. From the west, we are going to welcome the Yoder family in for our drive off. Enos Yoder on the lines, on the rail at the trot drivers. Let's be loud and proud and cheer on our 4-horse hitches, all making their way for the final placings. Blue Ribbon Days will be starting our reverse. Blue Ribbon Days starting our reverse with Cody. We're going to continue at the trot, making your way around, and Cody, you're going to be lining up when you get down to Merv. Drivers, this is another full class coming in as closely but as safely as possible. We're lining up as they make their way around with Blue Ribbon Days. Coming in close if you can. Again, we're going to be welcoming all of our mares into the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that was a fast-paced class. Let's welcome your contenders in the drive-off. And we're going to be opening the gates, and we're going to be feeding back into the Warner Coliseum all entries in our 4-horse hit. $15 entries to make their way back in. Drivers coming into the lineup close and tight, please. Well, we do have some special awards that we are going to present at this time. We have been watching throughout the night, and each night we are picking a fan of the night, and we are picking a Percheron Princess of the night. Our Percheron Princess is going to be getting a sash and a crown. And our queens take turns picking. So today, Mackenzie has selected her Princess of the Percheron Congress. And we're converting a Clydesdale girl. We're going to award our Percheron Princess Award to Alora Stahlheim of Amory, Wisconsin. She is our future queen for our Percheron Congress. She is the princess today, and she will reign our Princess of the Congress. Congratulations. A great mentor with Mackenzie. She does a wonderful job. And then we've been watching who's cheering, who's jumping up and down, who's making a lot of noise for these hitches and exhibitors. And it was kind of a clear choice tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, from Owatonna, Minnesota, Henry Lindsay is our fan of the night. Congratulations, and Henry, keep making that noise and cheering on the hitches. Congratulations, Henry and Alora. In this class, we are going to be placing all 15 entries. We want to take a chance to thank our crew who has worked diligently. We have been at it since 8 o'clock this morning, but it started for all of us way before that. Our crew working out back, thank you. Again, we've had a great time getting these horses in and out. They've worked efficiently, and we appreciate them. In the arena, we had our judges for halter. Mark Berry's been with us all day, judging our gelding halter, judging all of these hitches. And Merv put 1,000,000 miles on his feet running across the arena. Brad doing a great job with the music, our office staff, everyone that's making this show the success that it is. Thank you for a long day. In 15th position today will be number 1420. That is Blackbrook Percherons, owned by the Josephson family. Joining us from Clear Lake, Wisconsin, David Larson exhibiting. In 14th position will be 4004. That is the entry of the Strain family. Joining us from Manitoba, Canada, with Dylan exhibiting. His sister Maddie was riding with him. In 13th position, number 3012. Nice to have the Silver Creek Farm joining us. That is the entry of Matt and Missy Fahey and family from Belle Plaine, Minnesota, with Matt exhibiting. In 12th place, entry number 4000. That is the Fedor Farm Percherons from Cassopolis, Michigan, with Jana doing the driving. In 11th place, entry number 4002, that is the Pine Hollow Dairy, all the way from New York, Dale Mattoon doing the driving. You see those beautiful dairy jugs, the milk jugs in the back, symbolizing the family farm. Beautiful turnout, congratulations. In 10th place is entry number 2808. That is Arcola Ranch, joining us from Arizona with Leon Yoder. We did get a little news flash from Dwayne and Sarah that says that wagon looks sharp with those horses. You should buy it. Congratulations to Arcola Ranch. In 9th place today, number 2263, Silver Oak Percherons. Joining us from Verdon, Manitoba, Ethan doing the driving. They came a long way to be a part of our show. Give them a nice round of applause. The Silver Oak Percherons. In 8th place today, we are going to welcome Hanson Percherons. Joining us from Chatfield, Minnesota, Jared Hanson doing the driving. In 7th place, the award's going to go to number 2442, the Red Oak Farms, with Mr. Wishy Bush, representing Quebec, Canada. Our 6th place award today, number 2292, Windermere Farms, joining us from Pennsylvania, Hammer doing the driving. In 5th place today, the honor is going to number 2611. That is the entry of Ground Pounder Percherons. They join us from Granite Falls, Minnesota, owned by the Fagan family, with Joe Dolan exhibiting. We now have our drive-off contenders ready for our placings. Your top 4 in 4th place, number 1310, the entry of Zubrod Percherons from Guthrie, Oklahoma, with Miss Kenzeth Zubrod exhibiting. Third place today going to number 1260, that is the entry of Blue Ribbon Days, Mr. Cody Woodbury doing the driving. Owned by the Clevey, the Day, and the Ditmars. Again, Mr. Cody Woodbury on the lines. Making that tight turn down there at the far side. You can see why that fifth wheel wagon comes into play. They just simply spin around. Great job by Cody. In the arena, we have our reserve and our world champions. Today, ladies and gentlemen, your reserve world champion is number 1471, Yoder Hay and Horses from West Cliff, Colorado, with Enos Yoder. And that leaves your world champion, ladies and gentlemen, our blue ribbon and the championship today, going to number 1413 from Center Hall, Pennsylvania. We welcome the Penwood Percherons into the winner's circle. Mr. Chad Cole doing the driving. Your reserve champion going to the Yoder Hay Company from West Cliff, Colorado with Enos. And your world champion four-horse hitch of the registered mares. Congratulations to Penwood Percherons. We are loading the awards in the wagon, and we're going to turn the arena over to Mr. Chad Cole as he celebrates his world title. Congratulations, making that trip from Pennsylvania and going home as your world champion mare four-horse hitch. Congratulations. Shipshawana Harness and Supplies, the wagon sponsor for the Penwood Percherons. They're making that turn to come down the blue ribbon path. Your world champions in our four-horse hitch of the registered mares. Congratulations to the Penwood Percherons. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of our show today. We are going to be back here in the morning bright and early, 8 a.m. We're going to start with our mares and into our group classes for the halter division. We hope you have a great night. Enjoy all those exhibitors here at the World Percheron Congress, and we will see you in the morning.